Hello, my name is Ella Uhler, and I am the One South Department Manager at the main library. I started working in libraries actually when I lived in Florida. I was a shelver and English as a second language tutor. When I was getting my graduate degree, I decided to move back home to Cincinnati, where I started my library here at CHPL at the Green Hills branch as a part-time LCA. I then moved on to be a teen librarian at the Mount Washington branch, a branch manager at the Avondale branch, a team leader at the Makerspace Tech Center, branch manager at Coreyville, and then the department manager of the Popular Library, and now here is the department manager of One South. When I started graduate school, I knew I wanted to come back to Cincinnati, my hometown. I had friends and family who had worked at the library before, and knew that it was a good place to work and a good team to be a part of. My first big event I did at the library was I volunteered for Books by the Banks when I was a part-time LCA. Working in an organization this vast, it can be hard to meet people, and working at a branch can be a little isolating. So I was really looking forward to meeting new people, connecting with different library workers. I was getting ready to get my degree, so I knew I would be moving on from Green Hills to wanting to be a librarian somewhere. So I went and volunteered at Books by the Banks in their kids and teen area. And it was still a little hard to connect with people. And I remember when we broke for lunch, I just sat down at this little table by myself, and here comes Holbrook Sample. And he picked me out. He was the regional manager for Green Hills at the time, so I had met him. And he sat down and had lunch with me and talked to me and discussed with me what my vision for being a librarian was. And that was really impactful to me, to have someone from the senior leadership team take time out of their very busy day to come chat with me and make me feel comfortable in a space that I was new in. When I decided to become a librarian, I got my degree and I was already working for the library, so I had to start applying for librarian jobs. And I applied and interviewed to more than 6 locations and didn't get any of those jobs. I was feeling kind of bad about myself and struggling a little bit. And the next interview I had was with Larry Richmond at the Mount Washington branch. And I was coming in, and the feedback I had gotten that, maybe I was a little bit too forward thinking. I was kind of interested in things that weren't really happening yet. I was really into like the makerspace kind of culture. And when I interviewed with Larry, we hit it off right away. He told me he believed in my ideas and thought that they were going to be great, and he was willing to take a chance on me. And that was really impactful to me as a person, to validate all the things that I thought could be special and great. And he really supported me, and I started there, and we started doing makerspace programming, and it was really incredible. We had a huge response. Larry was so supportive, and I feel really grateful that he was my first professional manager in my first professional position, to feel so supported. And I really felt like when I left the Mount Washington branch, I could go out and do anything, because it was nice to feel that your ideas are validated. And now I'm colleagues with Larry now here at the main library, and we work together, and it's really just such a great experience to be able to connect with people that have been mentors with you and have turned into your friends. I will say that one of the main things that Larry taught me as a leader was that you're only as good as how many people you can promote, and I've really taken that to heart. And that's one of the main things I love to do as a manager, is help my employees grow, help promote them into positions that are of interest to them, and how they can use their skills to give back to the organization. And it's really just a benefit for everyone all around. I first came to the main library the summer after my 6th grade year. I had always got, Green Hills was my home branch growing up, and I went there all the time for reports and checking out books. I was a huge reader growing up. But my very first time coming here was after I had watched the movie The Craft with my girlfriends, and we had decided that we were all going to be witches. So my mom was like, well, I know where you can find out more about witches. You can go to the main library. So it's pre-internet times. So we all piled in the car, and my mom dropped us off at the main library. And I very specifically remember coming up to the desk, asking where the books were, and they took us over there. And everyone was so nice and caring, and was really just tickled with the idea of these preteen girls hanging out and looking through these books. And we spent all day here, laying all the books out on the ground and just reading them all day long. And to me, it's a memory I've never forgotten, and it's like really important. So I try to think about that when I see young people in the library today, of how this one visit could be a memory they have for the rest of their life. Uh, the library has made an incredible impact on my life as an entity, um, because I was like really a lost 20 something person. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. I had gone to college for a little bit and then dropped out because I just didn't feel like I was really connecting with any of the material I was doing in college. So when I started shelving at a library, it really gave me a purpose, like, oh, this is what I want to do. And I spent, I re-enrolled back in college and spent the rest of my time really kind of laser focused on that. And so the library gave me purpose and helped me become the professional person I am today.